Cohen is pretty bitter and has written 2 books explaining that and many, many interviews. He goes around saying all the time, Trump is nothing but a big liar. And recently he wore a T-shirt on a television interview that showed Trump behind bars. So Cohen is an enemy of Trump now.
I mean, what makes him a reliable witness? I suppose just that he was there at the time. I'm sure Donald Trump's legal team will be hoping to sort of tear him to shreds. Shira.
Yeah, no, I think what makes him a reliable witness is how much corroboration the people put into the case before his testimony. That was very clever of them. They put in all of the emails that he was on. They put all of the phone calls that he was on. So witnesses can lie, but documents don't lie. So they've already set the stage pretty well to find him credible by putting in the emails, the phone calls, and the testimony of other witnesses who interacted with Cohen. They may not have liked him, but Pecker said, I met with Cohen, I talked with Cohen. Daniel says the same thing. So there's a lot of credibility there through corroboration.
Michael Cohen, of course, is of great significance to this trial. Set out the story for us if you can. His testimony is so important because, Shira, he is the man who is alleged to have fudged the reimbursement to himself, the money he had to pay Stormy Daniels. He sort of fudged it as legal expenses in financial documents. That is the accusation against him, and whether Donald Trump had knowledge of it. What are we to expect from Michael Cohen? Tell us a bit about him first.
Yeah, well, Michael Cohen has already been convicted of crimes. He's been convicted of campaign finance violations, tax evasion, and perjury. He got a 3-year jail sentence. He served time in jail. So he has damaged credibility walking in. But I think he's not quite the key witness you say he is. The case has been proved by witness after witness who have talked about this hush money payment. There's no question this payment was made. There's no question Cohen made it. The importance of Cohen now is to link it directly to Trump. Because up till now, we've had plenty of emails between Cohen and the National Enquirer. We've had phone records from Cohen to the National Enquirer. We've had Stormy Daniels saying she was paid by Cohen. So all of that is known. The importance of Cohen is to say what his conversations with Trump have been. You know, he said today in his testimony, Trump wouldn't email, Trump wouldn't use text, because Trump doesn't want
have an email address.
Yes. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's worried about a paper trail. He said, I've seen too many trials where people were convicted because of the emails they wrote. So he's very careful to have no paper. So now we have only Michael Cohen's words as to what he spoke about directly with Trump. Now, there was one recording that went in earlier in the trial that was secretly recorded by Cohen of him speaking to Trump. So there's no question that they speak to each other. But now he has to tell us about their conversations about this payment and trying to prove, as you said, that Trump knew and so acted knowingly and willfully to falsify the business record so it would appear to be legal reimbursement and not a hush money payment.
Yeah, look, Cohen recounts in a pleasant way working for Donald Trump, actually, but the pair are no longer friends, are they now? Just again to kind of set out the context here.
No, in truth, Cohen has admitted he now hates Trump. He hates Trump, just like Stormy Daniels said she hates Trump. And why does he hate Trump? Because Trump turned his back on him. Trump didn't pardon him like he pardoned some of the others. Trump sort of abandoned him. Trump started calling him all kinds of names. Trump denied his story. So Trump sort of left him to be the one to take the fall and spend time in jail. So Cohen is pretty bitter and has written 2 books explaining that and many, many interviews. He goes around saying all the time, Trump is nothing but a big liar. And recently he wore a T-shirt on a television interview that showed Trump behind bars. So Cohen is an enemy of Trump now.
I mean, what makes him a reliable witness? I suppose just that he was there at the time. I'm sure Donald Trump's legal team will be hoping to sort of tear him to shreds. Shira.
Yeah, no, I think what makes him a reliable witness is how much corroboration the people put into the case before his testimony. That was very clever of them. They put in all of the emails that he was on. They put all of the phone calls that he was on. So witnesses can lie, but documents don't lie. So they've already set the stage pretty well to find him credible by putting in the emails, the phone calls, and the testimony of other witnesses who interacted with Cohen. They may not have liked him, but Pecker said, I met with Cohen, I talked with Cohen. Daniel says the same thing. So there's a lot of credibility there through corroboration.
Pecker is, of course, the man who worked on behalf of the National Enquirer to help bury stories about Trump. And we've been hearing more about that today. So as a broad view, and do please go into juicy detail for us, Cohen said today that Trump had told him to kind of handle negative stories about an alleged love child, about an affair that he had with the playmate Karen McDougal. There was that audio recording there. So here we start to get a view of how Donald Trump's operation worked, all with one eye on the election.
Right. So it was both the good and the bad. Pecker said, we're going to try to put out good stories about Trump. And it was very important that Cohen and others be on television, be on the media, and say all the good things they can say. At the same time, Pecker said, we'll also alert you if we hear anything bad, and then it can be buried. And that's what they called catch and kill. So I think Pecker's on both sides of it. He's promoting Trump on the good side, and he's prepared to take out stories that could hurt Trump.
Yeah, certainly. What is your impression of the case overall? What should people be expecting from it? We know that Donald Trump thinks it's a sham. He thinks it's all an orchestrated takedown of him. He's up against Joe Biden, of course. He's hoping to gain a second term in the American elections in November. But what is your overall impression of this case and what the chances are to come out of it?
Well, that's a good question, and nobody can totally predict the future. But I will say the case is strong, especially if it was the simple case of falsification of business records. But that's a misdemeanor. That's been proved, I think, beyond a reasonable doubt. I think he could be convicted of that in an hour. The harder part is turning it into a felony, because to make it a felony, you have to have falsified the business records in furtherance or with the intent of committing a different crime. That's the tricky part, and it may be more tricky legally than factually. So what's the other crime that is being charged? Well, it's not in the indictment. The DA hasn't committed himself to what it is, but one of the assistant district attorneys last week said the underlying crime is the violation of the New York election law, which says that if somebody conspires to promote the election of any person by unlawful means, that's a crime. So did he violate the New York election law? Well, what were the unlawful means? And the best we can figure out is that the unlawful means is the violation of the federal campaign finance laws, which Michael Cohen pled guilty to, but which the federal authorities declined to indict Trump of. So that's the trickiest part, is turning that misdemeanor into a felony. It's difficult to understand.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be kind of a tricky way forward. But look, this case is motoring on at quite a speed, isn't it? We've heard the prosecutor saying today that it's entirely possible that the court will rest by the end of next week. So let's see what we get on some more dynamite days of testimony. Great to speak to you. Thank you so much. Shira Scheindlin, who is former judge of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Really good to have you on. Thank you.